Hello again, everybody. We're going to take a few minutes here to introduce you to Shakespeare and give you some tips on how to approach Hamlet. It will be difficult on many levels, not least of which because Shakespeare writes Hamlet in 1600, so about 400 years ago. It is modern English that he writes in Shakespeare. It's the early version of modern English, and everything's the same as we speak now. He just uses different idioms and slang and expressions that we're not used to. So I'll teach you a couple tips to get through some of the language that will be challenging for you. First of all, if you look at the tips on reading Shakespeare, which I put on Google Classroom today, take a look at that. It's on the stream or it's under Unit 4. Okay. First of all, number one, there's a gloss, okay, which is this. On the very right-hand side of the page, it'll be the same on your ebook, and also on this side here. This is basically translations of some old-fashioned expressions or idioms that Shakespeare used, which his readers 400 years ago would have understood probably. We don't because they're old, so here it tells you what he's talking about. So use those. They're very, very helpful. The second note on tips is this is a play. Plays are drama. They're meant to be acted out. The actions of the characters accentuate their words and actually inform what their words mean. Okay? So having only the script in front of you, just like if it were a script from any play, even one from this year, it would be a little bit tricky for you to follow because you can't see the people acting, okay? The best thing to do that, we're gonna watch some acting of this play. I'll give you some assignments where you can watch it. And also, read aloud to yourself. I write here in the notes that your parents might think you've finally gone crazy from too much quarantining, but in your room or in your study, at home, read a few lines out loud, especially the ones that are more challenging. Believe me, you'll understand them better if you do read them aloud. They're meant to be heard by your ear and not silently read silently. It doesn't work that way. Attached on this material here is No Fear Shakespeare Hamlet. This is a PDF, and it will have a present-day English translation of Shakespeare into words that we use today, so it'd be far easier for you to understand. Again, use this only if you're having a lot of trouble and you've run out of hope with the original text. The majority of you, I'm sure, will be able to get the original text just with a little bit of practice. It'll just take the first 4 or 5 pages, and then you'll be in a flow, and you'll feel the language, and you'll understand the language better. Just be patient with yourself. Don't be afraid to reread a stanza or a line or two. Everybody struggles now and then with it. Most importantly, there will be a scene synopsis in the Google Slides that I made for you. I also uploaded this recently. It's about 24, 25 slides. Starting from slide 17, there will be a brief synopsis or a summary of each scene. Make sure you read that synopsis before you attempt reading the actual scene itself. The synopsis or summary will tell you what is going to happen in the scene in a summary form, and it makes it so much easier to follow, okay? Even experts on Shakespeare will always refresh their mind by reading a short summary of the scene before diving into the scene itself. Shakespeare is just so spare, and he doesn't give us a lot of guidelines and posts to tell us where we are, so we need to read a little bit of synopsis to understand where we are. Even if you're going to read the present-day translation in No Fear Shakespeare, I really, really highly recommend read the synopsis on slide 17 through 23, I think, in the slideshow, okay? So that's about it for the tips for reading Shakespeare. Enjoy it, take your time with it, be patient with it, and you'll really get a lot out of it if you're patient and let yourself enjoy the language. Shakespeare's a really funny writer. There's so much humor in there, a lot of dirty language, a lot of dirty jokes you'll pick up if you're patient with it. So you'll have a blast. Okay, enjoy.